Cover your ears, darling.
Would ye? So into week 2 of the Olympics, have you been watching any of it yet?
Oh, I've seen the Olympic bulimic pie eating.
I haven't even seen that. Do we know if there's any records been broken yet? Like, Britain done a 2012 and got like 100 million bajillion gold medals, completely and utterly coincidentally, because we're handing them out.
No, I don't think so. No. To be honest with you, the Olympics is something I really couldn't care less about. Now, do you want to know something that should be an Olympic sport, which isn't?
What's that?
The Red Bull Soapbox Derby.
That's such good fun.
I love that, but if they did like a gold, silver and bronze medal for that, Olympians would go there with like a cart that looks like Mr. Bean's car or something like that, and they get creativity scores. I think that would be a great Olympic sport.
Why is it that every carty that's built has wings on it? Have you noticed that?
Because Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh yeah, I feel
it's
really
a Red Bull
now.
soapbox thing, but not all of them have wings. I mean, there was one that they had. There was a repeat on Dave TV and it was from years ago, but it was on last week. Some guy had a Chris Pratt style motorbike and 2 velociraptors on his side.
Oh yeah,
and it had
from
like
Jurassic Park.
From Jurassic Park,
yeah.
And I thought that looks pretty feckin' cool.
Yeah. To be fair, Chris Pratt and the Velociraptor sounds like a brilliant name for a tribute band.
Maybe not even a tribute band. Maybe a festival headliner.
Yes.
Bring it up for Chris Pratt
and the Velociraptors! What a mixed crowd that would be. Dinosaurs and humans living in
It would be like
chaos.
Do you want to know? It would be like the 1993 Mario movie.
What, terrible?
Yes, but half human, half dinosaurs. And you'd have Dennis Hopper shaving his head, and you'd have all these people with tiny heads about the size of this microphone.
Oh yeah, the regression.
The Goombas.
Goombas, yeah.
Yeah. They look nothing like Goombas.
If there's ever a lesson in filmmaking, whatever you're doing, if you're starting out on a journey making films for a living, you'll never make a film as bad as the first Super Mario Brothers movie.
Debatable. The Room.
This is
It's
true.
so bad. It's amazing.
Did you leave the room when it was on?
Oh, hi, Mark. But I'm going to be honest with you. The original Mario movie was one of those. It was so terrible. I like it. It's so shit and it's all wrong. And if you actually look at some of the interviews from Bob Hoskins,
He always said he regretted making that movie and he would never have done it had he known how shit it was going to be.
yeah, but apparently the 2 directors were a married couple, and all Bob Hoskins did was got stoned.
Right, okay.
You just listen to these stories and you think, this actually sounds fucking awesome. Him and John Leguizamo, whatever his name is. What's his name?
I can't remember.
The Mexican-American dude. But yeah, he's Luigi. And the 2 of them just went and got stoned with a couple of chicks that were there at the time.
What, Daisy?
Daisy
and Yoshi.
Daisy and Yoshi, whoever. Because the 2 bloody directors were having a bloody hissy fit, but pillow talking. I don't know.
I think it kind of shows when you look at a film that terrible, it's like one person has a good idea, one has a terrible idea, and they just couldn't agree, so they just went, you know what, fuck it, let's just get it made. I mean, they made Yoshi human, didn't they?
He was the only dinosaur.
Was he? I couldn't remember. It shows you how long it's been since I watched that.
It was on Netflix not that long ago.
It's funny, right? Because it's that terrible, it's almost become a cult classic because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Trying to find a DVD of that, it's
it went out
bloody
of print.
expensive, yeah.
It went out of print years ago. I have a copy. Do you want to borrow it?
No.
Would you?
Why am I nervous already? He's coughing. This isn't good.
Excuse me. This one caught me off guard a wee bit. I'm sorry. I just jumped in and I'm just going to go straight in with this one, right? This one's going to involve some deep thought for you.
Oh, I don't like that.
Would you get a Prince Albert done by an alcoholic jeweller with shaky hands for £1 million?
Oh, I mean, instantly, up until the smile on your face, for £1 million.
For £1 million, would you get a Prince Albert done by an alcoholic jeweller with shaky hand syndrome?
Now, without kind of...
Right, I'll tell you what. Take the £1 million out of the equation.
And then it's a no.
Right.
Instantly a no, all day
Now
long.
throw the £1 million at it. Now you go say, shit, I've got to think about this. So if Chris Tarrant came along to say, "Would you want to be a millionaire? Would you get a Prince Albert done?"
By Chris Tarrant.
See, to be honest with you, nobody can do a Chris Tarrant impression, but everyone can go, "Huh," and that's about it.
Yeah, it's like a spitting image version of Chris Tarrant. Oh man, you see, instantly I was sitting thinking, no, my hands were already going to protective stance, just thinking about it.
There is no 50-50 or phone a friend on this. This is just purely you. Would you get a Prince Albert done for £1 million by an alcoholic with shaky hands?
And I mean, there's no ask the host either, because Jeremy Clarkson's useless.
Jeremy Clarkson is useless. He'd just sort of say, "Here's what I think."
I think that's a question.
Good news. I've heard of all of them.
Come to Diddley Squat.
Good news.
Oh.
I think it's D. I'm 25% sure of that.
You see, again, I'm still not really moving my hands from that protective
No, you're
stance.
not. You've got your hands comfortably or uncomfortably. I don't know. I can't make my mind up.
I already think of piercing as being like a... Yeah.
Well, you've had a tattoo done. Did that hurt?
Like, yeah, it did, but that was an enjoyable... Like, that's going to sound really sadistic.
I'm thinking you're getting a needle in your arm going, "Oh, yes! Oh,
Hit me!
Oh, hurt me!"
You're like Robin Williams getting tattooed. You're, "Oh, hit me!" That's Chris Tarrant getting tattooed.
50-50. Do you reckon if Chris Tarrant got into a fight, usually you've got like folk with like knuckle tattoos and
Love,
say, like,
hate.
Love, hate. Do you reckon he's got 50 and 50 tattooed in his hands?
I think he's got
50-50.
phone a friend. Morning, peeps.
I'm going to ask the audience.
Oh God, right.
You've really got to think about this one. I think that whoever came up with this is an absolute genius, by the way.
You're a sadistic soul.
There you go. I'll even put it on your desk so you can have a wee think about it, read it through. Now, a Prince
Have I got
Albert,
to read this and think about it?
Well,
Would I get a Prince Albert done by an alcoholic jeweler with shaky hands for 1,000,000?
Now,
Oh.
you're looking at me as if I'm really evil for putting that in front of you saying, "Would you do it?" If you really want, I could go and Google some pictures of Prince Alberts for you and show you them.
No. Oh man. I don't
There
think...
you go. There's one there.
Oh. I don't think I could. You know what?
This one's septic.
Cut it off.
That shouldn't be blue, should it?
No circulation.
That's actually the real Prince Albert. There you go. No.
Somehow that's even more disgusting.
Well, I'll go back to the septic cock. There you go.
I don't think I could. You know what? It's one of those things. Like, I
For
like...
£1 million.
It's... I just don't think I could.
But, I'm showing you this one that's all mouldy and fusty, right? Yeah.
No, jeez.
Right.
No.
I'm showing you this
No.
one. But obviously that's not right after it. You could get it done and then immediately take it out. You've had it done. There's your £1 million, right? Off it goes. Get your dick in a Sudocrem tub and let it heal.
But I mean, you're not going to move for a week, are you?
For £1 million, I would quite happily not move for a week.
Well, at least you get paid to get time off work.
I wouldn't.
Can you imagine phoning the sick?
£1 million, you won't have to work again. That's the mortgage paid off. Done.
Think of the Sudocrem bill.
Does that mean that you're going to have like Sudocrem fleshlights? What are you doing?
Stop it! Make it stop!
Back to the world of Sudocrem fleshlights.
Sudocrem has got the whole family covered. And of course, it's great for nappy rash. Bit of privacy, please. Sudocrem, not just for babies, for everybody.
Wedgie.
I'm looking at this next widget here, Martin, and I'm just seeing your tattoo. That's kind of new, is it?
Well, a few weeks old, yeah.
A few weeks, yeah. Well, didn't actually know you had a tattoo until tonight when I saw that. Just for everyone to see, right? It's a tattoo
Yeah.
of a cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quite read. You've got the
Music
in you. All right, okay. So
New Radicals song.
It looks like it's one of those mixtapes that you had when we were in high school. I remember
Primary school.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I can see what you're doing with it. But talk us through what made you get the tattoo.
When I was growing up, everyone was getting a tattoo done. There was that craze, remember, people get like Chinese symbols put on their shoulders and things.
Yeah, and it could mean egg fried rice or something like that, but it's supposed to mean peace.
You read so many stories about that. So at that point I thought, oh, tattoo, that's a really terrible idea. And the more I grew up, the more I discovered other people were getting tattoos, and they were getting some really nice bits and pieces. You sort of noticed other people getting tattoos, and it was always, the least expected people who you'd see a really cool tattoo on. Like my aunt now has an entire sleeve.
Ooh.
She's nearly 60, and this was like her midlife crisis about 15 years ago.
Sylvester Stallone did that, remember?
Yeah,
he's got like his shoulders and his chest are all tattooed to hell with giant birds and all that stuff. You think it might just be a midlife crisis. Well, I don't mean yours a midlife crisis, but it might be a bit of a midlife crisis.
It kind of is. So this was the thing. In my teens and in my 20s, didn't really mean anything. I was like, nah, don't fancy getting a tattoo. And then towards the end of my 20s and definitely into my 30s, I was like, well, maybe get one eventually when I've got something meaningful to do. And last year was just an absolute shit show in my life.
Okay.
Everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And it was one of those things, I was like, right, I need to do things that make me happy and make me feel like me again. And at that point, the tattoo idea kind of resurfaced.
Okay.
I turned 40 last year.
Right.
So it's definitely one of many midlife crises I've had. I've had that many. I'm having to use the plural for crises. And initially, when I was going through this bad patch, the New Radicals song, You Get What You Give, was one of those songs I could be having a stinker of a day, and I'd put that song on, and it was one of those few things that could perk me up and kind of distract me from the fires that were going on in my life. And at that point, I kind of thought, right, I'm going to get the words, You've Got the Music in You, down my sleeve, down my wrist.
Okay, I'm with you.
And that idea settled for a while. I went away on holiday with friends, and I'd booked the tattoo, and again, at this point, I still had the idea that I was just having the words done down my forearm, down my sleeve, and it was just going to be the words, something you can easily cover up and kind of hide.
Okay.
And we're sitting having dinner, me and my friend, one night, and she's like, so why do you do a bit more than that? And I was like, well, I don't really have anything to do. And she's like, what about, like, headphones or a microphone? And I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it kind of comes full circle to when I was a kid. The cassette, if you're old enough to remember them, I think it was Sony's had like the white label with like red band across the middle.
Yeah, I remember
Sony CFKs, I want to say.
Could be something like that. I can't remember.
Now, when I was 6 or 7 years old, I nicked a mixtape from my mum, and in the middle of, I want to say, On the Run by ELO or something like that, it suddenly bled into Angel Eyes by Wet, Wet, Wet. You know the song that Marty Pellow belches on? And with those angel eyes,
oh,
whoa,
yeah,
he set me on fire. That one. So that kind of bled over ELO. And it's really weird because I then got into ELO, detested Wet, Wet, Wet for many years, and then Love Is All Around came out. But I loved ELO, and that probably started something deep within me that got me into music, eventually got me into radio and broadcasting and everything else.
Okay.
So the tape's kind of like where a story began. I genuinely wish I still had that cassette tape somewhere. Sorry, I've taken way too long to try and explain the backstory to it, but that's the reasoning on it.
Okay, well, there is a reason why I'm asking you about your tattoo.
I was kind of hoping so.
Well, there is, because this widget that we've got in, would you allow the person sat in front of you, that's me for the record, to design and carry out a tattoo on you for 10 grand? Now, you know how I think.
I do.
Basically, what it's asking is, you've got to give me your body and I will tattoo it with what I deem fit.
Half of me is like, you know me and I know you, and it's a lot of money, and I would like to think you would do the decent thing. I would like to think that. This would probably be like a whole...
You're an idiot.
Axel Foley or Arnie covering my entire back, and I'd probably be there for like a month of sittings.
I'll be honest with you, something's just cropped up into my head, and I thought, no, if you were going to allow me to tattoo you, I'll tell you what, you answer the question, and then I'll tell you figuratively what you've let yourself in for.
Okay, so we're saying...
this is it. So 10 grand, I get to carry out a tattoo. So just one tattoo.
So hang on. For clarity, you design and you implement it.
Yes.
Right. That might change things slightly. Have you, at this point, been on a tattoo course?
No, but I'm pretty sure if we go out into the street, there'll be folk that can tell you how to do a prison tattoo. And for training, they might let me put little purple tears under your eyes.
I don't want no purple tears. I've heard the stories. I don't want no purple tears. No, you see, I thought.
But would you allow me to carry out and design a tattoo and put it on you?
I would probably let you design it, because I think deep down you wouldn't do anything exceedingly vulgar.
It's not vulgar, but it's something that's going to be with you for life, and you're going to look at it and go, oh, shit.
Can I suggest it goes on my back then, because I don't have to look at it?
I was actually thinking of putting it across your chest.
Okay, and what would you be putting across my chest?
The logo for the band Hearsay.
Man.
Like probably one of the worst pieces of music in history.
It really was pure and simple.
Oh, Jesus.
They used the inverted commas, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Oh, man.
There's an apostrophe in there somewhere.
Sorry, I say inverted commas, apostrophe.
It's literally a quote from Fred Elliott when they say, "Oh, which band are you?" Hearsay. That's literally Ashley. You're looking at it now, aren't you?
I am.
So that would be across your chest.
No.
And to give you an idea of size, I would probably put it the H right where your right nipple finishes, and put it across the way to where the Y at the end of say is just on your left nipple.
I probably would actually be more cool with you doing something really vulgar and rude than putting the Hearsay logo on.
I just thought to myself, what's the one thing he'd really, really hate? And I thought, he's given this whole poetic story about the music on the tape in his arm.
And you've just tarnished it. You've ruined
it now with a Hearsay logo.
I mean, there's other obscure 90s bands you could do, like, you remember Space?
No.
Right, okay. The Ballad of Tom Jones. You stopped us from killing each other. Because I had catatonia.
I don't remember that at all, no, sorry.
You could have their logo, that's reasonably obscure. You could have given me the logo for Brookside. I would have that done between my nipples.
There's a logo for Brookside?
Yeah.
Is it not just the word, Brookside?
Brookside, come it, Scally.
Sure, it's not just the word Brookside written in yellow or so. I don't remember there being a logo for Brookside.
Maybe it was the street sign that was the logo.
It might be.
I've put Brookside Loo. Brookside Loo. No, we don't want to go there. There's probably a body under it. No, there was a logo. Loo. There was a logo in the 80s.
That's funny because it was a 90s show.
Well, no, it started in the 80s. It was one of the first things on Channel 4. Now, what they had is they had like this sort of outline. I'm assuming that's Brookside. A Mersey TV production. Yeah, there you go. I'm guessing a Mersey television company, Brookside.
Do you want to know? I've never seen that logo in my life.
I mean, I didn't Photoshop it. I literally haven't had enough time to Photoshop that up, but...
I don't know, you're pretty quick with your fingers. I'm just looking at these lightning fast fingers behind the screen there.
No, I really am conflicted. 10 grand.
10 grand and I tattoo and design Hearsay on your chest.
I mean, could you make it illegible so that nobody can actually work out what it says?
Put it this way, only people that were born in the 80s and raised in the 90s will know who Hearsay are or were. So if you get lucky and you take your chest out and some lassie is looking at you thinking, what's Hearsay? You could make up anything. But then again,
you can make up a rumour.
You can make up anything you want, but it's just a case of I know what it means, you know what it means, and you've got to have it forever.
It means abject disappointment and failure. And not even being as good as Gareth Gates. If you made it 100 grand, I think that becomes more tolerable. I think 10 grand.
10 grand is the deal that we've been given. So 10 grand and I design and tattoo for you, and then I implement putting said tattoo on you.
It's a solid no.
Thanks for listening. Would you do us a favour and check back again next week? And don't forget to find and like us on the socials. When you